Hello again, students. How are you? I hope everyone is still doing well, and I hope you are ready to do some more learning. Today we will practice conjunctions again. Remember, conjunctions are and, or, but, and we will check the homework. We are also going to do one more activity where we will practice reading. Letters of recommendation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This is to remind you one more time about conjunctions. I just told you that conjunctions are the words and, or but. Those are three conjunctions we use a lot in English. And conjunctions are words that help connect other words and sentences together. So if you have two ideas or two things and you want to connect those together, you use a conjunction. So we have the conjunction and. Many of you know this word. And is when we want to connect two ideas that are similar or two things that are happening together at the same time, both things, okay? Two things together. Or is when we want to connect choices. So you have one thing or you have the other, not at the same time. We can have pizza or pasta for dinner. One or the other, not both, okay? So or connects choices. And last, but connects things that do not go together. When we have one positive statement and one negative statement, one yes sentence and one no sentence, we use a but. Okay? I like pizza, but I don't like pasta. So yes, I like pizza. No, I don't like pasta. That is a but sentence. Okay? So let's do some practice with conjunctions. So here you need to combine the sentences. You are going to use and, but, or. So let's look at number 1. I hope you can read these okay. Sometimes Miguel takes the bus to work. Sometimes he rides his bike. He cannot take the bus and ride his bike at the same time. You cannot do that. So Miguel takes the bus to work or he rides his bike. He does one or the other. He takes the bus to work or he rides his bike. When we see that word sometimes, that is a clue that it is probably going to be or. Let's look at number 2. He goes to meetings. He doesn't take notes. So he goes to meetings. That's a yes sentence. Yes, he goes to meetings. No, he doesn't take notes. So this is going to be what type of sentence? And, but, or. This is a but sentence. He goes to meetings, but he doesn't take notes. Let's look at number 3. He delivers mail. He also makes copies. Two things that go together. He does both of these things. He does both things. So he delivers the mail and makes copies. He delivers mail and makes copies. Okay, let's do a few more examples. Number 4. He answers calls. He doesn't take messages. A yes and a no. So this is going to be what type of sentence? Right, a but sentence. He answers calls, but he doesn't take messages. Remember, when we are using but, we have to say he answers calls, the whole sentence, he answers calls, but, and then we're going to do the whole sentence again. He doesn't take messages, okay? When we have a but statement, you have both sentences. Let's look at number 5. Sometimes. There's that word sometimes again. That is a clue. Sometimes he eats lunch in the cafeteria. Sometimes he eats at his desk. He cannot eat at his desk and the cafeteria at the same time. He cannot do that. He can only eat in one place. Do you know what a cafeteria is? A cafeteria is a big room at a school or an office where people eat lunch. So when your kids go to elementary school, they eat lunch in the cafeteria. So sometimes he eats lunch in the cafeteria and sometimes he eats at his desk. Okay, so the answer here, he eats lunch in the cafeteria or at his desk. Notice for the or sentence, I did not have to write both sentences. He eats lunch in the cafeteria or at his desk. Okay? Let's go to number 6. Sometimes, oh, there's sometimes again. Sometimes he goes home after work. Sometimes he visits a friend. How would you write this sentence? Are you going to use and, but, or? He does two things, but he can't do them at the same time. He has to make a choice. So here, he goes home or visits a friend after work. Okay, he goes home or visits a friend after work. Okay, so let's go on. So now we are going to check the homework. Did you do the homework in the workbook? I hope so. Remember, we are not together. I cannot check your homework every day, but it is important that you try the homework and try to answer the questions by yourself. That way you will know, do I need to ask my teacher for more help or do I understand? We are going to go over the homework. Now remember, some of you have the white homework book, this one, and a couple of you have this one. So the homework was a little different in each book. We are going to listen to the reading and then we will answer the questions. It might be a little bit different in your book, but you should still be able to follow along. So first, let's listen.
Page 96, Exercise 1, Track 29.
I am happy to write this recommendation for Federico Robles. Federico is a student in the Medical Assistant Certificate Program here at WCC. He will graduate in June. Federico is an excellent student and a hard worker. He can manage a medical office, schedule appointments, and take care of patient records. He can assist doctors with many duties. I recommend Federico very highly. He will be an excellent medical assistant. Please contact me for more information. Sincerely, Carrie McIntosh, Instructor.
Okay, so please make sure you are on page 96 of the workbook. If you want to listen again to the reading, if you want to listen again, you can go back on the video. Rewind, just go back and you can listen to it again. That is great practice, okay? But now we are going to answer the questions. So the first question is, Carrie McIntosh is Federico's, this was the example in the book, number 1. Carrie McIntosh is Federico's, and your choices were A, boss, B, medical assistant. C, instructor. Do you know what each of those words means? Your boss is the person who works above you at work. They make sure you are doing a good job at your work. Okay? That is your boss. A medical assistant is a person who helps the doctor. They work at a hospital. And an instructor is a teacher. Do you remember we learned that instructor is another word for teacher? So here, Carrie McIntosh is C, Frederico's instructor. Do you see at the bottom of the letter, I underlined it in yellow. There is a yellow line. She signs the letter, Carrie McIntosh, instructor. She is Frederico's teacher. Let's look at number 2. This recommendation is about, do you remember, a recommendation is a letter or an email that says, I think this person will do a good job. They will do a good job, or they will be a good student. So she is saying, I think, yes, Frederico will do a good job. So the recommendation is about who? Is it about Carrie McIntosh? Is it about Frederico? Or is it about Frederico's new boss? B, Frederico. She says, I am happy to write this recommendation for Frederico Robles. Okay. Number 3, Frederico can, and then they want to know, what can Frederico do? A, manage a medical office. B, schedule appointments. Or C, both A and B, he can manage a medical office and schedule appointments. And the answer here, C. The letter says he can manage a medical office, schedule appointments, and take care of patient records. So he can do both A and C. Number 4, Frederico, and then our choices are A, is looking for a job, B, is going to start school, or C, has a job now. So when we look at the letter, it says, he will be an excellent medical assistant. She recommends Frederico to be an excellent medical assistant. Frederico is A, looking for a job as a medical assistant. Number 5, in June, Frederico is going to, so let's look at the letter again. It says, he will graduate in June. So in June, Frederico is going to B, graduate. Okay, there were a few more questions about the reading in the workbook. You can always check your answers in the back of the book, okay? I like to go over the homework because it helps you to better understand what we have been learning about in class. But if you ever have a question or you want to check your answers, you can check your answers. It is very, very important to do the homework by yourself first, though. Always do the homework by yourself first so you can see, do I understand or do I need more help? So we are not going to go over page 93. It was a, page 97. I gave you page 97. We will not go over page 97. It is a matching exercise, okay? If you have any questions, you can send me a message. So I have one more thing I want to do today. So we are going to read one more letter of recommendation. I will read the letter aloud, and while I am reading I want you to read the words. Okay, read along with me. Then we will look at the questions and we will match the questions with the answer choices they give us. So first I will read the letter. This letter has a date, January 23rd, 2013. That is 7 years ago. January 23rd, 2013. Dear Dr. Jackson, I am happy to write this letter of recommendation for Fernanda Garcia. Fernanda started working at Southtown Medical as a full-time medical assistant in 2010. She takes good care of patients. She is an excellent worker, and her coworkers like her very much. She is leaving because she needs to find a job closer to home. Sincerely, Denise Stevens. Let me read it one more time. Dear Dr. Jackson, I am happy to write this letter of recommendation for Fernanda Garcia. Fernanda started working at Southtown Medical as a full-time medical assistant in 2010. She takes good care of patients, she is an excellent worker, and her coworkers like her very much. She is leaving because she needs to find a job closer to home. Sincerely, Denise Stevens. So now let's look at the questions they ask. Question 1, who wrote the letter? Question 2, what is Fernanda's job? Question 3, when did she start? And question 4, why is she leaving? Okay, now I'm going to read the answers. A, she wants to work closer to home. B, she started in 2010. C, Denise Stevens wrote the letter, Or D, she is a medical assistant. So let's go over the questions and match it to the right answer. Number 1, who wrote the letter? And they already show you C, Denise Stevens wrote the letter. Let's look at number 2. What is Fernanda's job? What is Fernanda's job? So when we look at the answer choices, let's see. D, she is a medical assistant. She is a medical assistant. Remember, a medical assistant is someone who helps the doctors. Number 3, when did she start? So now we have a when question. We had a who question, and that was a person, Denise Stevens. Then we had a what question about what does she do? That's a thing or an activity. Here, she is a medical assistant. Now we have a when question. Remember, when questions go with time. So, when did she start? And I see choice B says she started in 2010. She started in 2010, so that will go there. Number 4 is a why question. We have not reviewed why questions a lot in this unit, but remember, we did talk about why questions. Why is asking for a reason. When we say why, okay, we want to know what is the reason. If it can have a because with it, it goes with why. Why and because go together. So why is she leaving? What is the reason that she is leaving? Why did she decide to leave? Well, because she wants to work closer to home. Okay, so for number 4 is A. She wants to work closer to home. This is the end of today's lesson. I hope that you liked this video. We will continue to talk about jobs, and we will practice some more reading and writing. We are almost done with the unit. So go to video 16, where we will have some more fun talking about jobs. I will see you then. Bye-bye.